Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is Prosper Michael, live from Prime Media Studio, Lagos, Nigeria. Thanks for always joining us on this wonderful show. I hope you'll be having fun with my colleague Moses Wambeze. And of course, like I always promised you, that a lot of programming will be coming very soon, and some already up. We'll be having comedy program on this show, and also we'll be having DJ giving us beautiful songs that if you can dance like me. I know you've not seen me dance, so get ready. So we're going to be having DJ here, do some scratching, some mixing. So get ready to dance to it. And of course, you can always reach us anyway. Let us know how you feel about our show, and let us talk to us. We want to serve you. We're here to render service, to serve you, to entertain you, to keep you informed. Everything you actually wanted, we were here to give it to you. So today I'm going to be solo. So I'm just going to take you through the major headlines across the various news platform. Okay, we'll be giving the one we think you need to know. We can't give you all, but we're going to give you tidbits so that you get to understand what is happening today all over the world, starting with Nigeria. Of course, if you look at the headline right now, the one that is on right now, you can see that that's in the Vanguard newspaper. You can see that jihadists from Niger, Mali, Libya, taxing Nigerians. Let me just show you the screen so you can see what is going on there. So now this statement is from the House of Reps, the member of House of Reps, saying that jihadists from Niger, that's not Nigeria, this is another country, then Mali, of course, another country, then Libya, another country. So foreign jihadists working with the ones in the country are taxing Nigerians. So before you go to farm, there will be need for you to pay them before you can go to farm. So this is what it is. So if a person of this caliber, I think his name is Sani Yakubu, I think is what I raises alarm, saying that this is what is happening in my locality. And which means this set of people are known, because if you are taxing somebody, there's a need for that person to take whatever you're asking to you. There's a means of communication and all that. So he's raising this alarm and asking the able body, the body that is responsible in tackling this, to respond accordingly. So you can see the full gist of that story in the Vanguard platform. So we have serious issues if not only are people in that community they taxed by terrorists within, but now terrorists outside and joining force with the one inside to tax Nigerians, which means these people in that environment are going through a whole lot, and there's a need for appropriate action to be taken by the federal government to ensure this does not continue. So that story is is on the Vanguard platform. Then we'll move on to the next story that talked about this is breaking news anyway. So court gives DSS 7 days to release Emefiele. So this story has been around that Emefiele was arrested and detained by the current administration. And now there's a judgment from the court that is asking that he should be released immediately. So you can see the gist of that story on the same Vanguard platform. So I'll just read briefly to you. So an Abuja High Court sitting at Maitema on Thursday ordered the Department of State Service, DSS, to within 7 days release the suspended governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, from detention or charge him to court. So the court, in a judgment that was delivered by Justice Hamza Mwazu, held that Emefiele's continued detention without trial amounted to a gross violation of his fundamental human rights. Justice Mwazu held that the Nigerian constitution was founded on the rule of law, which he said presupposed that everything must be done according to the law. Detention, no matter how small, can amount to a breach of fundamental rights. The court held, adding that since allegations against the embattled suspended CBN governor contained bailable offenses, the DSS ought to grant him administrative bail pending his prosecution. So that is what the court is saying. You can just head him, pull him down, and without either you charge him to court or you let him go. So that is what they are saying. So we believe the appropriate authority will look into this and address it accordingly, so that the country doesn't be, people don't see the country as a banana republic, when everything goes. Okay, this is a sad one. This happened in Niger Delta, where we saw gunmen kill police officers, steal AK-47 in Delta. And we learned when this took place, other police, they ran, and they based on the story on the Vanguard, they ran, but one of them was killed. And as we speak now, the rifle has not been recovered. And this is just like it happened before, and this has happened again. And we hope that the government will quickly see how they can nip this, so that if policeman can be attacked and his rifle taken away, so you can imagine what the ordinary man in that environment will be going through. So you can see the story is on the Vanguard newspaper there. So you can read through and see what the story is talking about. So, and according to that story, there was a contact. Some of the calls are not being responded to as regard to get details of what happened. So, and the one that happened before was barely 2 months before this new one attacked on the police personnel. This is very wrong, and of course, this is a criminal activity. Whoever is targeting a policeman is a criminal and should be treated as such. Okay. So moving on, we looked at the next story that's still on the Vanguard newspaper that talked about Tinubu 6 reps approval of 500 billion naira for subsidy palliatives. Okay, so the president is seeking approval for the sum of 500 billion for subsidy palliative. And on this request, we saw the NLC really not happy with this. They are saying that this money is not enough to meet the demands, the needs of the people, because this palliative, a lot of people are going through a lot. That Punch newspaper actually make it very pronounced. You can say the NLC protests Tinubu's 500 billion naira subsidy palliative, demands 300% raise. So they are saying that this money is not enough. It cannot take care of the people that are going through, that are suffering a lot right now at the moment, because we're looking at about 125 million poor Nigerians. What will 500 billion do for them? So I'm just going to read briefly. It said the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress have thumbed down the 500 billion naira palliatives proposed by President Bola Tinubu, stating that it is grossly inadequate to assuage the hardships confronting workers separate to the fuel subsidy removal. They are demanding they pay a 300% salary increase to enable workers to cope with the challenges imposed by the deteriorating economic situation that came with the removal of the controversial fuel subsidy. So, you have it. This is what the NLC they are saying, that the money the federal government is proposing is too little, too small to be to cushion the effect of the palliatives, the effect of subsidy removal. Instead, they are proposing that 300% raise should be enforced by the federal government to be able to help the individuals, the citizens, to cope with the recent reality. Because if the government proposed 114% increase for government officials, so imagine somebody earning 5 million is asking for 140% increase. So you now imagine somebody earning 30,000 or 50,000. What will such person ask for? So these are the issues at the moment. And indeed, so we expect the NLC will do the needful, because if normally what they are known for is that when they make demands and demands are not met, they're calling cost strike. These are the only method that they can use to force the government to do what is right. It's not just about talking, and not taking actions, because we know during the person of the former NLC chairman from those states. So we saw how he was able to force government then to be able to, whenever government want to increase fuel price, they force them to make sure it gets to a certain level, not to maintain the level they take it to, like what we have right now. The fuel has remained 488 naira to 500 naira per liter. It has remained there, nothing has changed. So we expect them to do what's necessary, because the pain is really much right now in the land. So there you have it. You can get the gist of the story from this platform, the Punch. This story is well captured in the Punch newspaper. You can see it there. And of course, we still have more stories to talk about today. And of course, the sit-at-home order in the Southeast. So we saw Southeast governments vow to deal with Simon Ekpa and others, because we saw that story that he has declared sit-at-home in the Biafra land, that nobody should come out in so days for any business or school activities, that they should remain indoor for these days. And we can see most of the governors in these states coming to say that there's no room for non-state actors. Everybody should go back to their various work and all that. Now the question is, this order was declared some time ago. Some people decide to listen to the governors, and come out, and some of them get the bike market got burnt or shot at. So it's not about just saying don't go out and control business and without appropriate protection. So this issue is making the sit-at-home order prospering, in the sense that no appropriate measure has been put in place to actually ensure the safety of whoever would defy such order on such days. So as we speak right now, there's a serious issue in this region, and this declaration is being enforced by unknown. We saw last time people wearing black and red, and they were forcing a sit-at-home order. And in some of the clips that went viral, we saw how they were shooting at they shot at the bike, and also the vehicle. So everybody started running here Tascata, and such has been declared. And we can see the governors talking tough in that as regard the issue. And if you look at the statement from the governors, they are saying that there's no room for non-state actors. I'll just read briefly. It said that so Anambra, Enugu, Ebonyi, and Imo state governments yesterday vowed not to yield to the antics of non-state actors disrupting governance in the southeast geopolitical zone. Their reactions followed the threat by the factional leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Simon Ekpa, to impose a 2-week sit-at-home in the southeast, commencing from July 31st to August 14th. So this sit-at-home, according to Simon Ekpa, is going to be 2 weeks. So Simon Ekpa had on Tuesday declared the sit-at-home will take place in the following order: Monday, that is July 31st, to Friday, August 4th. there will be total lockdown.